He's spot on when he says right now it's not needed. We've got the situation under control, several thousand law enforcement agents here, and we're conducting that Title VIII immigration mission unabated.
And local officials are absolutely outraged that any president would even muse about the idea of sending the military onto the streets. Listen here to Mayor Frey.
Invaded, under siege, occupied, use whatever word or superlative that you want to attach, but the bottom line is what is taking place is designed to intimidate. It is not fair, it's not just, and it's completely unconstitutional.
Now, Julian, I mentioned that it is quieter today than it has been, and I want to point out to you these railings that have been put here by the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department. That is serving to keep the protesters on the sidewalk where they, of course, have the legal right to voice their opinions, not to get into the road and impede the vehicles and the agents leaving the federal building. It does, of course, Julian, beg the question, if it's that simple a measure, just putting these railings here to keep the protesters back, why wasn't that done by local law enforcement a week ago? Jillian?
An interesting question indeed. Jonathan Hunt, thanks for bringing us that from Minneapolis. John?
All right, Jillian, let's bring in Chief Patrol Agent Greg Bavino of the Border Patrol. Chief, great to see you again. I want to just show folks at home a little more of this video from protesters who stormed that church over the weekend. Listen here. This is the city's church in St. Paul. Protesters say that they were in there because one of the pastors, and not the pastor that you see in this video, but one of the other pastors has the same name as one of the personnel in the local ICE office there. So two questions to you, Greg. First of all, do you know if those people are one and the same? And then secondly, what do you think of what happened yesterday?
Sure, Jillian and John, it's good to see you, and thanks for having me. As far as the church pastor and having the same name, there's a lot of same names that these protesters seem to get wrong every single time, and it's because they don't seem to care. These rioters, these agitators, these anarchists, and I think anarchy here is probably the best term, they don't care really if that pastor did have the same name or indeed was connected to ICE. They simply want anarchy. And you see that in that church. It's sad, but it spills outside of church also. Mom and Pa America are feeling that same type of mob mentality in the streets of Minneapolis every day.
So just for clarification, Greg, are those people one and the same, or are they two different people?
John, that investigation continues. We've got Department of Justice on that, and they're investigating all the aspects of what happened in that church. So I'll let them speak to that as far as from that investigation.
All right, so there's big questions here. Who are these protesters defending, and why isn't Minnesota cooperating with federal officials? Here's what Tricia McLaughlin said about people that ICE wants to get on detainers who are being held in local jails. Listen here.
Currently sitting in those jails, Bill, 1,370 criminal illegal aliens in Minneapolis's custody. Murderers, rapists, child pedophiles, those people should serve their time and then they should be turned over to ICE. We have not seen that. We've seen no cooperation. Governor Walz and Mayor Frey should come out today and agree to that.
Do you see any sense in not turning these people over to ICE?
John, it's reprehensible that they wouldn't do that. There's thousands of criminals in those jails right now that could be turned over. That's potentially thousands of crimes that are going to be committed if they're turned out onto the streets. Right now, John, right this very minute, Border Patrol is gathering target packets on criminal aliens in Minneapolis, those same criminal aliens that should have been turned over to us months ago. So absolutely no reason not to do that.
I mean, there seems to be no question that ICE is detaining and apprehending criminal illegal aliens, but critics charge that you're also detaining people who do not have criminal records and that some U.S. citizens are being caught up in that. Are you detaining U.S. citizens?
John, the majority of U.S. citizens that are arrested by Border Patrol, ICE, or those federal law enforcement entities are just what you see in that church there, anarchists who typically assault federal officers. If you assault a federal officer and you're a United States citizen, you're going to jail. That's 18 U.S.C. 111, assault on a federal officer. We certainly have the authority and the means to arrest someone for that, and we will. So there are U.S. citizens that step over the line and they are arrested. As far as those non-criminal aliens, as we go after the targets, as we go after these criminal aliens, if we encounter another individual who's an illegal alien, they're going to jail also. Okay. And again, I can't stress enough the CBP Home app, John. Utilize the CBP Home app and do it yourself. If you don't, we will.
Yeah, and the DHS says that there's incentives for people to self-deport. A lot of people have done that. Others remain here, though, in the country. In terms of whether or not people who are in the country illegally and should be removed goes, let's you and I get in the DeLorean. Let's go back to May the 6th of 1995 and this radio address by then President Clinton. Listen here.
Our plan will triple the number of criminal and other deportable aliens deported since 1993. Every day, illegal aliens show up in court who are charged. Some are guilty, and surely some are innocent. Some go to jail, and some don't. But they're all illegal aliens. And whether they're innocent or guilty of the crimes they're charged with in court, they're still here illegally, and they should be sent out of the country.
So that is the key phrase there. Whether they are guilty or innocent of the crimes they are charged with in court, they're still here illegally, and they should be sent out of the country. That was a Democratic president. And that was 31 years ago. What has changed with the Democratic Party?
Even Bill Clinton gets it. Even Bill Clinton understands the importance of borders. He understands the importance of the rule of law. John, these illegal aliens, whether they're criminal illegal aliens or any illegal alien, just as Bill Clinton knows, that's not a victimless crime. Illegal aliens that come across and utilize our hospital services, they fill our jails and schools, that has an effect on our society. That is why we have the Immigration and Nationality Act, immigration laws, and a border.